Willkommen zum neuesten Goldinvest-Interview. Wir sprechen heute mit Simon Lill, Managing Director von The Grey Mining, einem spannenden Goldexplorer, der in der australischen Pilbara-Region tätig ist und damit im Herzen des Konglomerat Goldrauschs. Jetzt zu Jahresbeginn wollen wir von Simon hören, was das Unternehmen seit unserem letzten Gespräch erreicht hat und wie die Zielsetzung für 2019 aussieht. Simon, welcome. It's been a long time since we last talked, so even with the break for the holidays, the Grey will have advanced its Pilbara-Projekt in the meantime. Could you bring us up to date on what has been happening regarding the structure goal as well as the conglomerates?
Yes, and thank you, Bjorn, and Happy New Year to you, may I say. It has been a while. It's, I guess we've been like a duck, paddling a lot underneath. There's a lot of activity, but the market hasn't seen a lot of that. Mm-hmm. We released a quarterly report yesterday that really updated the market on our activities during the December quarter, and there are a lot of areas where it said results pending. So there are a lot of results that we've got coming through in the next 1, 2, 3 weeks in a lot of different areas, both structural and conglomerate. So we have been busy. The region that we're in, of course, Christmas time, we have to close down. There are seasonal issues, and we're in the wet cyclonic season at the moment, so we need to take care there at the time. At the moment, the weather is good up there, but so there are seasonal issues that impact our activities as well.
But the heat waves we hear about in Australia is not a problem for you there.
Look, I think it's actually cooler in Port Hedland, as I understand it today, than it has been in Perth. That's not the norm, but it is apparently cooler in Port Hedland today.
Okay.
So, look, the station owners that we work on their land, they would like a few cyclones. They'd like some rain. So.
Oh, okay. But so, as you said, there's going to be news flow over the next couple of weeks. That's the results of some of the exploration you've been doing, of the drilling you've doing that are pending, or what kind of thing can we expect in the near future?
Look, I think there's 2 areas. We've had ongoing drilling. We've had diamond drilling. We've talked a lot about Withnell underground. So Withnell's our major deposit, and we've got a strong belief that the vertical ounces per metre as we go deeper are substantial enough to justify underground mining. So that's where we're trying to get prove that point. We continue to do work on the conglomerates. It remains interesting, even though perhaps some of that interest in the Pilbara conglomerates has gone out off the boil. But we've shown results that are getting 3 to 4 grams a tonne. It's shallow, it's at surface. These are reasonable results. So we've got ongoing work on the conglomerates. The quarterly yesterday said we've got further results coming. There's a lot of drilling that's been happening in, so we've got 5 major resources areas, Taurana, Molina, Withnell, Wingina, and and Mount Berghaus. Amanda's is perhaps a secondary one at the moment. Not a lot of drilling at Wingina. We've done some deeper work. But Berghaus, Molina, Taurana, Withnell Deeps, they're the main ones that we're reporting on.
Okay. So what are the next steps for the Grey then? What are the plans, the goals, the overall goals for 2019?
We've been quite clear in our quarterly with our strategy. We are looking at increasing, we did a scoping study, if you recall, back in August of 2017. That was for a 1 million tonne per annum plant, and it was throwing out a 4.5-year mine life at roughly 65,000 ounces per annum. And it clearly stated the 2 key areas: add resources, improve metallurgy. We've got metallurgical results will be getting released in the nearest future, and we've been happy with those. Increase in resources is something we have done in the last 12 months. A resource increase that we announced in, I think, early October was up to 1.4 million ounces. We are stating that our target this year is to go to 2 million ounces. Exploration results are always uncertain, but we're confident that we'll get to 2 million ounces. And we are also stating that we are targeting over 3 million ounces in this region. So that's our next 2 years. Is probably, we're having a good look at the economics, we're having a good look at the scale of the possible development, but we're also looking to drill out further and take the resources towards 3 million ounces. And beyond, I think we'll get there.
Wow. It's certainly good to hear, and 3 million ounces is a big number, a number you can run with. So we'll see how it goes. Wish you the best of luck, of course. So that's what you're going to work on the project side. But I'm sure there are some new developments on the corporate side of things that you're working on.
Okay, look, I guess I should just add on the project side again, stated strategy, it's out there in the market. 7-year mine life, that's a reasonably consistent sort of mine life. You need it for banking purposes. We are going to start showing the market over 100,000 ounces per annum. These seem to be magical figures for the market. So we think 7 years mine life with exploration upside and 100,000 ounces per annum minimal, starts to get the market's attention. Corporately, it's probably dragged down our share price a little bit. We've had 60 million options exercised at 10 cents. So we've raised $6 million. That's in the bank at the moment. It has probably acted as a bit of a drain on our share price. We've paid a chunk of that. We have a settlement to occur in July at the moment with the Chinese partners. I call them partners because we have the right to buy the project, but we work with them, and we've got to raise some capital to make sure we acquire that part of the project. And it's a significant part of the project. But they are supportive and they're helpful to us, and we're comfortable with that relationship as well. So we've paid $700,000 to them. That is not an additional fee. That comes off the total amount owing. We need to pay that by July. We've now extended the payment. So we need to pay that by July at the moment. And we're working on many different avenues to do that. And some are simple, some are a little bit more complicated, but we're conscious of dilution and share price as well.
Okay. So thank you. So a lot to look forward to, a lot of work for you. But still, although the Pilbara-Projekt is your flagship project, obviously, you've got some other projects, lithium, base metals. Are there any new developments in that regard?
No, there hasn't been since we last spoke, which is probably 3 months ago, beyond 2 to 3 months. The lithium project remains interesting. The lithium market as a whole, in terms of stock market, I suppose, has gone off the boil a little bit, but we're still in lithium country. We've got major projects coming into production within 40 kilometres of us. We've got an interesting project. We have stated we're concentrating on gold. We are happy to look at joint ventures, if you like, or some other alternative with that lithium project. Doesn't mean it's a bad project. It's a very interesting project. But the capital that we have is to be used towards the gold. So happy to have somebody else come in and perhaps spend some money on that lithium project.
Okay, thank you. Well,
and look, I should say too, Bjorn, just going back to the gold project, look, we have technical information. There has been a lot of metallurgical work. We've said we're doing a pre-feasibility study. We did touch on that in our quarterly yesterday, and I have suggested, and I think he will come on, that not next week, the week after. Andy, we've got a lot of announcements through in the next 7 to 10 days. And our technical director, geological manager, if you like, Andy Beckwith, was planning to be part of this interview in 10 days' time. So there'll be a pretty significant update in terms of where the project's heading from Andy.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I talked to Andy before, of course, and it's always good to get also, let's say, more technical perspective on things, especially when you put out metallurgical or drill results. So I'm looking forward to talk to him then. In the meantime, let's sum up. Where is the value proposition for the gray mining now? What would you like to? Where do you see yourself, the company, at the end of this year, in your personal opinion?
Yes. Okay. So look, we think we will show the market that we've got a 7-year mine life at over 100,000 ounces per annum. We plan to continue to do resource drilling, and we've stated to get to 2 million ounces by the end of the year and to 3 million ounces by the end of the following year. Our friend Andy that we just talked about, he always says, "Oh, Simon, 3 million ounces. That's our target. That's what we believe we can get to." There's a lot of drilling to get there, but what we have been starting to show the market, we've got 200 kilometres of shear zones. It's a big, big project area. Most of it is undrilled, let alone under-drilled. There's a lot of opportunity there. So there's a lot of nuggets being found, and there always has been. There's clearly mineralisation in the region. So by the end of the year, we're showing the market a pre-feasibility study. We're showing the market 2 million ounces. We're showing the market at 2 million ounces. The market tends to value resource ounces at $50 to $55 an ounce. That would indicate at least a doubling in price. So that's the short-term target.
Okay. Thank you very much. We'd certainly like to see a doubling in price. Who wouldn't? We'll check in, as we said, next week with Andy, talking about the announcements to come. And thank you for taking the time and giving our audience this update. Thanks.
Thanks, Bjorn. Cheers.